He looks like he owns credit. Oh my gosh. Man like Arthur from Batman.
Dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, ciao, konnichiwa, bonjour, hola, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Kenneth 10, how are you? We are here on the 15th of March, and at last, I see some sunshine out the window. I'm pleased to report here in Norbury SW16, which is where we're broadcasting from and do every day, and talk about everything related to what's going on in the property market. Really pleased again to see a really full diary of valuation. So thank you to all of those that have chosen to invite us to their homes. We know it's a very big thing for you, and we take it very seriously here at GIA. And we can tell us why you should use us instead of our competitors. Always love to have those conversations with you, either by telephone or preferably at yours, when we come around and give you an idea of what we can get for you and how we can do it and make sure we get you the very best price in what is, let's face it, a much trickier market. Let's talk about the news and what's going on. The value of new mortgage lending has fallen by a quarter in the past year. And by the way, at the end of the show, I'm going to talk to you about something that I use daily that you might find useful. I certainly do. It's something that I subscribe to, and it's free. So I'm going to put that up for you in a little while. But yeah, new mortgage lending has fallen by a quarter year to year. This is in the Telegraph, and that's 24.5% less than a year earlier. And it's not surprising, is it, when interest rates have gone up so much that that's happening. And it brings us on to the next headline, which is the Bank of Mum and Dad have had the busiest time ever in a decade. That is BOMAD, we call it. And this is where parents are helping out their children to buy, because it's the only way they can get on the ladder these days. So for most children, it's really not just necessary, the only way they can possibly do it. And parents spent 8.8 billion to help their children last year. That's an increase of almost 4 billion since the start of the pandemic. It's just crazy money, isn't it? Home sellers are forced to cut their asking prices. This is across the UK. The Southeast, that's 9.8%, London, 8.8%. A lot of this, I have to say, is because what's happening is this. Agents are desperate for stock. And when agents are desperate for stock, how do they get it? Well, many of them do it by misleading clients, by overvaluing. And what that means is, if you imagine, if they know that the price of a house is 500,000, for instance, immediately they're going to go in at 550. Why, you ask? Because if they go in at 550, there'll be 50,000 above at least the nearest competitor agent that's telling the truth. So therefore, they're looking like they're getting the client more money. But in fact, and in some cases, to be frank with you, even at £500,000, some agents, which will remain nameless, but I'm sure many of you will have a clue who I'm talking about, there are 100,000 out. And there are so many examples of this that it's got to the stage where now we can demonstrate actively to anybody that's interested by just going onto Rightmove and looking at the most reduced properties, which agents are doing this as a complete tactic. And what happens is they sign people up for a very, very long period. So two things to watch for. One is, really, is it that much more than everybody else is saying? Why would the other agents lie to you? Why would the other agents not want to do the best for you? And the second thing is the length of the agreement that you're asked to be signed up to. Many of these agents are now asking for 20 weeks. Why do you need 20 weeks to sell a house? You don't. The only reason they want a long contract with you is simply this. They know that the price point they're asking is wrong. And therefore, over time, because you're tied into them, because you've signed a very long contract, they'll wear you down. Oh, we haven't sold it. Can you reduce the price? Can you reduce the price? I meet people every day that are doing this. And there are examples that we can just provide online to show you how this is happening. So when they say that house prices are down by 10%, that's not actually true. They are down, but they're not down by anything like that. And the market is stable. And there are certain elements of the market that haven't actually moved very much at all. And others where the price falls are a bit more dramatic. So it does depend what you've got, where you are. And that's a discussion we need to have with you. But I do think be very, very careful about choosing an agent on the basis of high valuation, because 9 times out of 10, they're telling people what they want to hear in order to get them to sign up for long contracts. But the first warning sign, and the thing you should be asking your agent when they say to you, this high figure, is, how long's your contract? Really? Why do you need 20 weeks if the price you suggest is correct? And they won't be able to answer the question because there is no answer. If they turn around and say, all right, well, give us 4 weeks at that price, then that's understandable and you should be listening. But they won't. They'll stick to their guns with a long contract, because that way they know that eventually you'll give up and say, all right, reduce the price. And that's just a dishonest way of business. And we're not something we're really prepared to do, never have really. Number of tenants facing eviction is at an all-time high, despite the previous eviction ban. And that's hardly surprising, is it? Who's most hit by the crisis in cost of living in terms of businesses? Well, it's apparently it's hairdressers, dry cleaners, and fish and chip shops. They're the ones that are closing at a rate of knots at the moment. And I've said for a long time now, a lot of these small independent traders, it's very sad to see them go, because they are the life and soul of local communities, and it's really sad to see them go. But I think this is a trend that's not going to stop. If you look at all local high streets and even some of the big national high streets as well, they're all in the same boat. They've got loads and loads of vacant premises, and here we are with a housing crisis. I mean, surely the housing minister could put this together, no? You'd think, wouldn't you? But apparently not. On a lighter note, a construction worker's won a £3 million dream home. You know that amazing thing that you see on telly? Apparently they do win it sometimes. A guy called Kevin Johnson paid 50 quid and won the amazing £1 million house draw. He's now got the house, £3 million, which is a Victorian townhouse in Islington, North London, and 100,000 in cash to help him settle in. Good for you, Kevin. Go get them. Now, something as far as the something that might help you that I find helps me, and something that I suggest you might want to subscribe to. I'll put it on screen now because I think it's fantastic. And it teaches you some life lessons, or it does for me anyway. It's called the Daily Stoic. Stoicism. It's fantastic. It's like a religion. And if you look at the different things that they analyze every day, it really does make you realize how things that happened thousands of years ago and philosophers and what they said are just as relevant today. One particular quote today, for instance, this week was about, what everyone aspires to get, that to be famous, to get all those millions or billions or whatever it is. But what philosophers do is this, and this is what they say: instead of hiding behind luck's protection, or instead of continuing to lie to themselves that more and more will make them happy, they actually probe themselves. They question their desires. They look into the future and ask, what would happen if all my dreams came true? Would I suddenly be happy then? And if so, why can't I be happy now instead? That's just one of the quotes. But if you sign up at Daily Stoic, you get a quote every day, little life lesson. I love them. I think they're fantastic. So have a look at dailystoic.com. It's fantastic stuff. So apart from that, lovely to see the sun out. We're starting to get people thinking about moving, which is great. A few more than expected, actually, which is really lovely to see. I think part of that is the fact that we always get a larger slice of the market relative to our area than some of our competitors, because we've been here for so long, over 30 years. So people know us, and it's always a pleasure to deal with the children of the people we originally dealt with, even the grandchildren in some cases. It's just amazing to have that family link through generations of people that know us and trust us, and it's never lost on us. So apart from that, we are looking forward to a good day. A few offers in, and we're just about to tie those up. Lots of things going on. Very short still of letting property. Property to let, and 3-bedroom houses are in short supply still as well. Every time you get them on, they seem to be turning over quite quickly. So if you think you're moving, might be the right time for you, give us a call. Let's have a chat. Hope you have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching, as always, and we will be back same time, same place tomorrow. Until then, look after yourselves, and if you can, your family and friends. Ciao.